Film and TV star Cillian Murphy's first official acting credits date back to 1997, but it was the 2002 zombie horror film 28 Days Later that really put him on the map and made him a recognizable face in Hollywood. Since then, the Irish actor has gone on to star in some of the biggest Hollywood blockbusters. So stay tuned and don't go away, because we're about to reveal some weird things about the film star that you didn't know about. First up, was Cillian Murphy previously in a rock band? You bet. Before he was one of the best actors in the film and TV business, Cillian, which yes, is actually pronounced Killian, was entertaining fans on stage when he once played guitar in a band called Sons of Mr. Green Jeans with his brother. Killian's vocals were reported to be great, but not surprisingly, his parents weren't enthused about his dreams of being a rock star, and they felt that musical careers for both of their children were a bad move. During an interview, Cillian once said, "I'm very glad in retrospect that we didn't sign, because you kind of signed away your life to a label and the whole of your music." Even though he's been world famous for several years now, Cillian is known for flying under the radar and avoiding the limelight. Even with big roles in the Batman film franchise, Cillian keeps a very low-key existence. However, thanks to his role as Tomas Shelby in the hit Netflix series Peaky Blinders, all of that changed in an instant. Why has Murphy been so successful? Some believe it's a combination of stunningly good looks paired with his bad boy persona in Peaky Blinders that has catapulted him to stardom. Because of this, Murphy has built a fortress of fans around the world. Next up, just how private is Cillian Murphy exactly? You're about to find out. Cillian Murphy wants nothing to do with a high-profile celebrity lifestyle. And to be honest, who can blame him? Privacy's a beautiful thing. He's not a fan of interviews and flat-out refuses to divulge details about his personal life. And for the most part, he only attends interview sessions that are absolutely required as per his contracts to promote upcoming roles or movies. And he doesn't like creating hype around himself specifically. When he travels, he moves around without security personnel and never likes to create a buzz about his presence. But there's another thing about Murphy that you probably didn't know, and it's that Tomas Shelby is actually a part of him in real life. Murphy takes his roles so seriously that he finds it difficult to separate from his character after spending so much time on set. And what fans don't realize is that the role of Tomas Shelby has been a difficult one for the actor to shake. If you've seen the show, then you know Tommy is a man that never stops, sleeps, and there's a tremendous weight on his shoulders. Shelby leads a very dangerous lifestyle, and it resonates with Murphy on a deeply personal level. He's even admitted to being a bit dark at home with his wife after spending several days in character, which is proof of his incredible acting skills in bringing characters to life. Next up, is Cillian Murphy married with kids? Let's take a look. Murphy is happily married to Irish visual artist Yvonne McGuinness. The two first met in 1996 and were married 8 years later in 2004. McGuinness works in the video installation and print industry, and she's made several short films. McGuinness has witnessed firsthand how different Murphy can be when working on different films. And although Murphy does his best to turn the switch off, so to speak, when he gets home from work, there are still remnants of his character left inside of him when he walks through the door. Once, in a rare interview, Murphy did confess to being a jerk at times and said that it can't be easy for a wife to live with an actor. Murphy and McGuinness are fortunate to have 2 sons together. One would think that his sons would be happy to have a world-famous actor as a father, but the truth is that due to the violent nature of Murphy's roles, the boys haven't seen most of his work, and thank goodness for that. In fact, Murphy and McGuinness do their level best to shield the boys from Murphy's often violent film and TV work until they are of an appropriate age. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're revealing everything you need to know about Cillian Murphy. Next up, why didn't Murphy make the cut as Batman? You're about to find out. Murphy didn't make the cut as Batman despite wanting the role very badly. After auditioning for the legendary superhero role, Murphy inadvertently left a lasting impression, but in a different way than he originally intended. Ultimately, he was turned down as Batman, but locked in for the role of the Scarecrow in the Batman movie series. Another thing that many fans don't realize is that Murphy doesn't use social media. Peaky Blinders shattered records as the most watched Netflix series of all time, and fans have been obsessed with the characters and dangerous plots. Naturally, the success of this role led to millions of people around the world essentially running Murphy's name in various social media search boxes. But to the disappointment of those fans, their search queries yielded absolutely nothing. Why? Because Murphy doesn't use social media, and rumor has it that he flat out doesn't like it. This makes sense when you think back to what we said about Murphy's desire to lead a very private life and wanting nothing to do with a celebrity lifestyle. And of course, we think that he should be commended for that. This disdain for the celebrity lifestyle is what keeps Murphy a grounded, down-to-earth family man. If there's one thing Murphy craves more than a celebrity lifestyle, it's his quiet, laid-back family time. He finds joy and pleasure in the simple and most mundane tasks that come with family. Things such as taking out the trash or just being involved in his family's day-to-day life. life. Those little things are a source of great pride for Murphy, who isn't really on assistants or a management team. He does it all himself, like an average Joe. Up next, did Murphy once aspire to be a lawyer? Let's dig a little deeper. This has got to be one of the weirdest things about Murphy that you didn't know about. Yes, it's true, the actor who plays some of the most frightening characters we've ever seen on screen once aspired to become a full-fledged lawyer. In fact, Murphy was completely dedicated and devoted to a career in law. He went to law school, pursued higher education, and was hungry for a successful career in the legal business. Soon after he began attending law school, however, he came to the realization that a career in law was not something he wanted to pursue. Ironically, it turned out that he was utterly bored sitting in lectures, and he wasn't essentially a slacker who didn't feel like applying himself. He quickly realized that a stuffy legal career wasn't for him, and chose to chase his dreams of music and acting. Talk about a roll of the dice. But at least for Murphy, it clearly paid off. Today, he's worth an estimated $20 million. Not bad for a slacker. Despite only doing film and TV work these days, Murphy is still very passionate about music. He spends a great deal of his money on sound systems and regularly listens to music that inspires him and feeds the soul. A source close to Murphy revealed that music will always be in his blood. Finally, is Cillian Murphy really a vegetarian? For nearly 2 decades, Murphy was indeed a vegetarian. However, that all changed when he landed the role of Tomas Shelby on Peaky Blinders because, let's face it, you can't play gangster Tomas Shelby while living on rice, Brussels sprouts, and kale. So, in order to play Shelby, Murphy was forced to bulk up, and he reverted back to his inner carnivore. Another thing about Murphy that you probably didn't know is that he doesn't live in Malibu or some posh, exclusive, gated LA neighborhood. Murphy prefers the green, rolling hills of Ireland. Murphy is originally from Ireland, although he did live in London with his wife and sons for several years. But in 2016, Murphy and his wife made the decision to move back to their beloved Ireland, to a small town near Dublin where its kind residents respect his privacy and leave him alone. Precisely what Murphy wants for himself and his family. This is great to hear. The last thing you want to deal with when you're buying a carton of eggs is crazed fans screaming your name or trying to get a selfie or an autograph. Another reason for living in this quaint and quiet Irish neighborhood is that Murphy and his wife want to keep their kids closer to their grandparents. Murphy's dedication to his family is absolutely remarkable and even affects how he does business. For instance, Murphy refuses to accept any job that requires him to uproot his family. Another thing that he does when choosing his projects is to look for the best writing. He doesn't simply chase after the almighty dollar. Is it just me, or is Cillian Murphy a seriously cool guy? That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.